There's only one Delaware Park, the greatest one. Delaware Park, tradition lives on, excitement second to none. There's only one Delaware.
Away and running. Good speed in the center for Quantico Creek today. The rail belongs to Fire at Midnight, and Jess's Gypsy Girl is right there in the thick of things too. Civil Notion is 4 deep and 5 wide is Chasing Artemis. Now at the back of the pack, second to last, here comes Believe in Freedom to take that fifth spot away. And Shea Soleil was a touch slow when the starter said go. So there's no breathers up top as this quartet speeds past the 6 furlong stick, and Jess's Gypsy Girl emerges from that four-pronged battle to lead by only half a length. Chasing Artemis has had a wide trip so far, but is in a clear-cut second, and Quantico Creek's the meat in that sandwich in that third place position. Believe in Freedom is traveling sweetly in fourth off this pace tug-of-war, and Civil Notion is right there too, but coming under a loose rein. Fire at Midnight now scrapes paint to be in that fifth place position, and Shea Soleil still at the back of the pack with 3.5 furlongs to go. Still for them across the track, and it's Jess's Gypsy Girl with the target on her back. Quantico Creek breathing down that rival's neck in second. Deep on the track is Believe in Freedom. Right there in the thick of it too is Chasing Artemis, but needs to dig deep and find more. And closing in is Civil Notion on the far outside and catching the eye too. They pass the quarter pole, a new leader. Quantico Creek calls for the lead as they turn for home. Jesse's Gypsy Girl tries to battle back. Civil Notion's closing in, and so is Fire at Midnight. Inside the final furlong, Quantico Creek still giving plenty. Civil Notion drifting out when it mattered the most, past the 16th, and Quantico Creek's nicely clear at 3-1. Quantico Creek has won it to beat Civil Notion, Fire at Midnight, and Jess's Gypsy Girl. Away and running. It was a good even dispatch. Busting up is hard to do was the first one to break the line, but there's Pepe and Haywood showing good early speed, and Claus in the thick of it too, and Great Go-Go the long shot also wants a piece of that front running action with 4.5 furlongs to go. Four survivors behind a speed pronged battle up top, and last of all is Tankinator. Down to the 3.5 furlong pole they go. Busting up is hard to do with a nose in front. Claus right there taking the inside trail in second, and Pepe and Haywood is right there in a feisty mood too. Four Survivor getting closer to that early speed with Tankinator second last, and Great Go-Go whips him in. There's a quarter to go. Busting up is hard to do. Repels the challenge of Claw for the moment as they turn for home. Busting up is hard to do. Leads by a long neck. Claw's right there resolute on the rail, but here's Tankinator with a mid-track burst of speed. Inside the final furlong, Tankinator takes over the lead. Busting up is hard to do. Had no more to give. 7-5 when the wagering market closed. Tankinator was first. To beat Bustin' Up is hard to do. Then came Claw and Pepe and Haywood. Away and running. Good speed today from Smooth Player, but Poppy's Revenge takes an uncontested lead with a circuit of the track to go, and Eddie Felson now moves into that second place position. Smooth Player travels well enough in third, Evasive moves at the fence, and a very wide Arrow Speed is last of all. So that's the quintet as they pass the 7 furlong point, and Poppy's Revenge with the mouth open has the lead at the 6.5 furlong point and has a nice and relaxed lead too, and it's only a length. Smooth Players right there upping the stakes in second, and Arrow Speed continues this wide journey down the back of the track. Eddie Felson's right there on hold in that fourth place position, and Evasive Moves needs to pick it up from last because there's no pace on whatsoever with 5 furlongs left to go. And Poppy's Revenge trying to slow this field down to an absolute crawl leads 3/4 of a length. But Eddie Felson rides that rail to take that second place position away, and Smooth Players battling hard in third. Arrow Speed is caught wide once again, and under the whip Evasive Moves is last of all. 3 furlongs to go. Poppy's Revenge has called the shots. Now picking up velocity is Arrow Speed. Eddie Felson rides the rail, and the other two of little consequence. The quarter pole looms, and Poppy's Revenge has something saved for the final quarter of a mile. Leads by one. Two of them chase every step of the way. Eddie Felson and Arrow Speed. Heads turned for home. Poppy's Revenge has given them plenty to think about today. Arrow Speed trades jabs with Eddie Felson for the second place position, but pouring it on at 3-1. Poppy's Revenge looked like a winner when the starter pressed the button today. Poppy's Revenge in a polishing win over Eddie Felson, Arrow Speed, Evasive Moves, and Smooth Player was the last one home. Away and running. Good speed today from Drama's Prayer, who beats everybody off the blocks. Philegas String is also right there too. And Magic Monday came away in third position, and they spaced the rest. A distant fourth is Austin from Boston, and the Great Gazoo is last of all. So Philegas Swing shows the way past the 4 furlong marker, and that lead is a tenuous neck. Drama's Prayer is right there making that runner work hard for every single yard, and they couldn't be going any quicker for the level. A distant third is Magic Monday. Austin from Boston's closing in sweetly, keeping an eye on the two in that white cap. And last of all is a Great Gazoo. The quarter pole looms, and here comes Austin from Boston with a mid-track blitz of speed now. They're off the turn, a race for home. Austin from Boston just swept past everyone like they were standing still. Austin from Boston kicks for home. Nowhere to give his Drama's Pair, and late on the scene is a Great Gazoo, but Jeremy Laprida timed this to a T. Austin from Boston from off the pace to win. The Great Gazoo was second, and Drama's Prayer weakened to third. Away and running. Good speed today from Grand Manor and Sir Smoke. Those are the first two as the starter said go. On Our Way Boys is right there tracking the speed, and Dart now grabs that third place position. Awkward Pause came away in that fifth place spot with codename Brody second last, and Call Me Maestro has a lot of catching up to do. But the solo speed past the four as Grand Manor today gets over to the rail and shows the way by only one. Dart is three wide, but is now a clear second, and that was short-lived as Sir Smoke is also right there on the prowl. And On Our Way Boy stays at that rail. Dart backpedals to fourth. A non-threatening fifth was codename Brody, passed by Awkward Pause, and Call Me Maestro's winding up. There's a quarter to go. Grand Manor still has the pace in his hands, but Sir Smoke's trying to take ground away as they turn for home. Grand Manor trying to see this through has opened up a length and a half lead. Sir Smoke continues to loom at the 16th pole, and no better than third is On Our Way Boys, but at the 16th pole, Grand Manor was never headed today. Grand Manor has won it. Sir Smoke was second, On Our Way Boys third, and Awkward Pause was fourth. Away and running. Bad start for two, Our Fantasy. Good speed today from Chloe Rose. Party Monster is right there chiming in and tears herself off at 1-9 is lurking in the shadows early on. And Chalk Hill came away in fourth. One Last Olas rides that rail, and Our Fantasy has to come up with a monster effort today. They just passed the 7, and Chloe Rose is going to try to take this field as far as she can for as long as she can, trying to slow pace the field too. But Party Monster is right there applying the heat, and Tiz herself with those nice relaxed strides is off the fence in that third place spot. Chalk Hill continues to be very wide in that fourth place position. Our Fantasy starts the middle move to the 5 furlong pole, and One Last Olas is at the back of the pack. So Chloe Rose continues to lead with 4.5 furlongs to go, but Tiz herself is right there gaining inches on this long-time leader. Party Monster has nowhere to give while a ground-saving third, and Chalk Hill's wide and out of trouble. Our Fantasy's picked off one, and that's One Last Olas at the back of the pack around the turn. Chloe Rose trying to light up the board at 13-1. The favorite at 1-9. Tiz herself's in deep water as Our Fantasy had a terrible start and is closing in. They're off the turn. Chloe Rose continues to lead. Our Fantasy continues to chase. Tiz herself has to pull a rabbit out of the hat today as they turn for home. And Our Fantasy from worst to first in a blink of an eye. Our Fantasy kicks for home. Deep on the track is Chalk Hill. Right there is One Last Olas, and Tiz herself is off the board at the 16th pole. Our Fantasy nicely clear. Our Fantasy has won it over One Last Olas, Chalk Hill, and Party Monster. Away and running. Nice even start too. There's the speed of Rebel Empire true to form. And Big Brown chooses Huttles for speed. Aggrandize is also right there. And Lord Barrier travels deep on the track, passed by Sovereign of Speed. And boy, this is a wicked pace here. Instigated is second last, and Hushin whips them in. They go down to the 4 furlong point, and there's no breathers up top for Rebel Empire today. Trying to break a case of second-itis as they swing the side. Aggrandize has made this one work hard since the starter sprung the latch. Big Brown chooses a distant third, and starting to close in is Lord Barrier with Sovereign of Speed dropping away. There's a quarter to go. Rebel Empire still continues to lead, and Rebel Empire turns first. It's a long neck. Aggrandize is running a cheeky race today, and these two continue their pace tug of war to the top of the stretch. Aggrandize now puts those blinkers in front. Rebel Empire digs deep with everything he has, but Aggrandize has the measure at the 16th pole at 8-1. Aggrandize has scored the winning run. Hushin came flying home for second. Getting up for third was Lord Barrier. Instigated's in the photo for fourth with Rebel. Away and running. It was a good start for the Sweaty Fox today, who leaves the chute on top of the field. One Tough Dame is boxing on, and I'm Nervous now drops to the back of the pack as this one is headed by Bodacious Bren and Mystic Storm. So the opening furlong belongs to the Sweaty Fox, but here comes Bodacious Bren on attack mode now, and Mystic Storm is 3 wide for the backstretch run. One Tough Dame with a lot of public support is under a loose rein to stay closer, and I'm Nervous now is right there in the thick of it too. Only 2.5 lengths would cover tip to tail. They swing the side, and Bodacious Bren comes calling for the lead, and is in hand too. Shows the way by a long nose. The Sweaty Fox is ready to counter that attack. Mystic Storm comes under a ride. I'm Nervous now stays at that rail, and at 2-1. One Tough Dame is only in fourth as they turn for home. Bodacious Bren kicks for the money. The lead's a nose. The Sweaty Fox is grudgingly giving way. I'm Nervous now is showing up late. One Tough Dame is erupting down the center of the track, and here comes One Tough Dame up and past Bodacious Bren. From the back of the pack, One Tough Dame has won it over Bodacious Bren, and then came Mystic Storm.